I don't know what the last 18 months would have looked like had I not had an amazing online community to tap into. During those times where things were so uncertain, they really helped to keep me from feeling isolated.
Hello, and welcome to the Connect podcast. This show is all about helping you connect to your soul's calling so you can take action on it. Because the sweetest success is a blend of discovering your purpose with the inner drive to bring it to life. I'm Sheila, health coach, lifestyle entrepreneur, and mom of two, best known for my online wellness programs, mentoring, and self-love passion. Listen in for inspiring interviews, solo chats, and Q&A sessions that will move you past overwhelm towards what lights you up. Stop accepting good enough and go for your version of great in your health, business, and relationships. Let's get started.
Hi, welcome to this Monday mini-sode where I share a thought designed to elevate your mindset as you live into what lights you up this week. And over the last 18 months, a lot of us have not been feeling lit up. A lot of us have been feeling stressed out and overwhelmed by all of the various things happening in our midst, whether it is the way our work environment has changed, the way our businesses have changed, what has happened for schooling for our children. Everything has felt very uncertain. Health has been on everyone's mind. And in all of that, there's been a lot of polarizing conversations happening as well. And so I look back over my last 18 months and I think, wow, I could have felt incredibly isolated had I not been cultivating a community over the past 4.5 years of other like-minded people in the health and wellness and spirituality space that I have found myself. And these are colleagues. These are people who I've gotten to know in various different forms, in conversations, online, some offline. And these are people who we can have conversations about the work that we're doing and we get it because we're in a similar space. And of course, I'm super grateful for the people who do things that are completely different from what I do because it sheds light on how everyone is coming from a different place. And it helps me to increase my capacity for understanding people. It helps me to ask new questions and to come to a place of awareness of things that I had no idea about. And certainly some other things that we've all navigated together. I'm grateful I have not navigated alone. All of the various social activism conversations we've been having, the heartbreaking conversations, the hopeful conversations. And I realized that when I started out in the wellness space many years ago, there was no such thing as online business at the time. And we had telephones and we had in-person get-togethers and meetings. And those would always really energize me. And I see that if I didn't have what I've created during this time of the world being so different, my life would look very different. My mental health would probably look very different as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can approach your week in whatever area of your life or business that you are focused on, helping yourself lean into a community of like-minded people, people who you can relate to, people who you can support, and in turn, who can support you from being an encouragement so that you can keep going in the work that's important to you. And this is something that doesn't happen overnight. But when you start out your week thinking of who can I lift up? Who can I reach out to today? Who can I cultivate a new connection with? These are beautiful growth mindset pieces. They are things that help you step out of the ordinary. They help you look outside of yourself and your current circumstances. And in that, it opens you up to being able to see there's opportunities around us everywhere, because I truly believe that we were created to live and thrive in community. And you can understand that when you think about various torture practices that people have used over the years, and like isolating people is one of those things. And many of us have experienced what it means to be isolated from the people we most care about over the last 18 months. So we understand what can happen to our mental health and that impacts everything, what can happen to our relationships when we do that. But when we start out our week thinking about how can I actually increase connection to the extent that you have the capacity, beautiful things can happen. And we're all different. Some people are introverts, some people are extroverts, some people are somewhere in between. I'm not big on labels when it comes to stuff like that. I think I have introverted days and extroverted days. And that all comes into the cyclical living that I talk about so much. And it only makes sense, right? We can wake up having different energy levels, and that impacts how we're going to show up in the world. But when we look at how can we create connection according to our energy level that day or that week, it's kind of a hopeful vibe that comes from that. And I really invite you to start thinking about this week as you go through your normal activities that you're doing, your work, your home life, anything that you're doing in your community. Think about how can I increase connection? Sometimes it can start with just smiling at someone as they are walking down the street and, making that hopeful kind of gesture with someone helps for you to really feel the connection of one person to another. And then it can lead to a conversation. It can lead to you picking up the phone and finally phoning that person that you've been wanting to get to know for quite a while, but you've never made the space for it. It can start having you put things on your schedule each week for connection times. Here's a tip for you, something that I've been doing the last few years. I have an automated calendar called Calendly. You may have heard of it. And you can create time blocks that you're available to be reached via whatever form of communication you desire, whether it's phone or even text, or it could be Zoom, it could be Instagram. And I have time blocks set up where if I'm reaching out to someone and I'm thinking, I'd really love to have a conversation with them, I have a specific time on a specific day every week. And that can change as necessary, but it's usually at the same time every week or a few times where they can then go into their calendar, pick a date that works for them, and it shows up on my calendar and a way to reach them. And then we can actually get it on the books and actually make the connection. And in doing this, my network of amazing, incredible people has expanded because I've been intentional about it. And as a result, I feel hope because I'm reaching out to new people. I'm feeling the connection when we talk. And often it can lead to ways for me to help promote some of the things that they're doing, help to support them in that, or vice versa. And so there are so many ways that you can stop feeling isolated by leaning into community. And that's one way. One of the most beautiful ways that I have been able to do this the last 4.5 years is in a membership I've been involved in, and it's called the Origin membership. And what I love about it is it's a community of people coming from all different walks of life, but who have similar ideologies about how they want to live and work. And one of them is how to live while doing less, how to do the things in your life without jam-packing your schedule, putting your body first, putting your health first. And it has been a wonderful environment to steep in because I've learned so much from this community. There's going to be some workshops coming up. One is on October 13th. There'll be another one October 14th. And if you go to the link in the show notes for the free workshop where my mentor, Kate Northrup, is talking about how to deal with overwhelm and get more focus, you will be able to see for yourself how it's possible. And it really, for me, it all started with community. So go check that out. And as you go about your week, please keep this in mind. We can get very stuck in a rut. Even when we're amongst other people, we can feel isolated. It's easy to be in a crowd and feel alone. But when you're able to find ways to connect with people who have a similar mindset, it's incredible what can happen. And I look forward to connecting with you again on another episode this week. Thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Big blessings.
Thank you so much for being here with me on the Connect podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone you think would enjoy it. Also, if you head over to iTunes to leave a review, I'd be so grateful. Let us know what your favorite parts were and what you'd like to hear more of. It will help us have a greater impact, elevating many more people to grow and succeed together. See you next time.